Live. Put my phone here. My phone there. I'll hold my phone. I'll put my phone there. Okay, number 224 YouTube Live yoga routine. That means I've been doing this 224 days in a row at 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. So before we begin, I want to mention the Troxler effect, Troxler fading. And all this is when you focus on a thing, an object, for example, the things around it disappear. And you've probably seen this online, or not online, where there's a black X, and around the black X are these purple or pink dots. And when you focus on the black X, these dots disappear. Then, of course, you're focusing, and then all of a sudden they appear, some of them, and then you bring your focus back to the black X. Now, this is exactly what we're doing in yoga. And the Troxler effect is with vision, but there is research that some of it happens because of the brain. But all that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is that there is this thing called the Troxler effect. That's just the label on this thing that happens. When you focus on one object, things around it disappear. So in yoga, this is what we're doing. And we're focusing on the breathing. The breathing is the black X. 100% focus on the breathing. And what happens is that your thoughts disappear. And of course, just like when you do it with that chart or that picture, a thought may appear, just like that purple or pink dot may appear. And then you just bring your focus back to the breathing. And you stay focused on the breathing, and it happens again. And you just bring your focus back to the breathing. And what happens is that the yoga routine becomes a form of a moving meditation. And you feel and you become aware of the movement of the body. You're not focused on it, you're just aware of it. You're focusing on the breathing. Black X. The black X is the breathing. And the movements and the stretching in the yoga routine are no longer movements or stretchings. Stretchings are stretches. It's all becoming one, and it's a moving meditation. And that is because of the ability that the mind has, the brain has, to focus on one thing, allowing your thoughts to disappear. And this goes deeper when you think of the yoga philosophy, because you are not your thoughts. So technically, you don't hold on to them. We hold on to them, but naturally, not technically, naturally, if you're not your thoughts, then your body and your mind become one, which is yoga, that doesn't allow thoughts to exist, because they don't exist. They exist, but they are not you. Interesting stuff, a little too deep to explain within 5 or 6 minutes. But this is, again, just bite sizes about focus. And then tomorrow, what I'll explain is focusing on that thought in regards to the Troxler effect. Again, Troxler effect is about vision, but there's research, one, that it has something to do with the brain, but it's also about this ability that we have, meaning we can apply it to meditation. We can apply it to yoga, just to understand what's happening. That is the point of explaining it. almost like a metaphor in a sense. And then these bite sizes over, I think I did 5 days about focus. And then you collect what I'm saying over these 5 days. Tomorrow will be the 6th day. I think it's the 6th day. And you experience what I'm saying. It's not an explanation. It's not in what I'm trying to explain. It's an experience. The explanation can't let you experience. You have to experience to experience. So today we're going to do yoga, and we're going to focus on our breathing. We already do this already, but with this idea, this concept, this notion, this understanding about the Troxler effect will help you understand it more. Again, as in regards to vision, I'm not saying it's not, but there is this ability of the brain to allow this to happen, meaning we can apply it to yoga and meditation. That is my opinion. I'm not a scientist. I'm not Mr. Troxler. A guy named Mr. Troxler, I don't know his first name, discovered this in 1804. But it already existed without him explaining it. People in 1704 knew about it. 1604 knew about it. This guy just came along and said, hey, that's called Troxler. He put his name on it. But I guarantee it has the ability to happen in meditation. When you focus on one thing, things around you disappear. I've experienced this. It's the Lohman effect. That's my last name, Lohman. So to say that it happens only in vision is true. It happens in vision, but it happens in meditation. I've experienced it. Where you focus just on the breathing and your thoughts disappear. I've been there. It's true. It exists. But it's not the Troxler effect because he already claimed that. So we'll do the mountain pose, focus 100% on the breathing. We're going to go into the sun salutations. We're going to do 2 sun salutations. And today we're going to move into them slowly. And we're going to hold the poses slowly. And you're going to focus on the breathing, 100% on the breathing. Think of nothing else. Even when you move from pose to pose, that movement, you're going to become aware of the movement, but you're focused on the breathing the entire time. And then we'll settle in the mountain pose and then close it up with a yogurt seal. And that'll be it. So let's go ahead and begin. Get my socks on today. Snowed out. Let's check this out. Got a heater right here. Whoa, knocked over my lamp. I might leave the door open. Get this snow. I'm gonna leave the door open. Have a lamp right there. Probably can't see it. So the lamp, not a lamp. Is that a lamp? Yeah, I guess that's a lamp. So feet or shoulder width apart, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Actually, I'm gonna open the door all the way. The snow is on the ground. The door's probably in the way. I can't see. I have a camera right here that I can see myself if I have my contacts in and my glasses on. Woo, it's cold. So feet or shoulder width apart, toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. And then you're going to bend the knees, tilt the hips, relax the arms, and then shoulders and the neck. And you're going to find that spot where the skeleton just stands as if you were just your skeleton. And you're finding that stability in the mountain pose. So if you were just your skeleton, you had no skin, no muscle, no fat, no tendons, ligaments, none of that stuff. Where the skeleton just stands. So you let the bones sit on top of each other. You find that stability. And what happens many times is you'll start to sway. But what you want to do is go with the sway. For whatever reason, you may sway because you're thinking of something and it pulls you that way or pushes you away. Could go either way. But sometimes, since you're part of everything, you're the oneness, meaning that not everything's one as a blob. You exist with everything. You may sway a little bit. And what you want to do is find the stability in the sway. You don't fight against the sway. You're learning to let go and go with the flow. Even in the mountain pose, that's what you're doing. So when you get off the yoga mat, you're moving through your daily life, you learn to go with the flow. You may sway. You may get in a situation, say a meeting at work, and you go with the flow. Somebody says something, you're like, ugh, what does that mean? Or somebody says something, hey, that's awesome. You go with the flow. Don't fight things. There's a time for fighting. I'm not saying that. But that's not what we're doing. We're learning to go with the flow. Sometimes fighting is doing the rope-a-dope. Rope-a-dope. Like Muhammad Ali used to do the rope-a-dope. So your mount pose awareness is on the breathing. So you're going to watch yourself breathe. Remember, you're already breathing automatically. And you're just watching it, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. And you watch it by bringing your focus to the belly. As you inhale and exhale, you're watching it. So when you inhale, the belly swells with air. When you exhale, the belly goes in. So just watch that. I'm going to shut this door, not because it's cold, but somebody has a fireplace going. And it's like cool because it's snowing and stuff. It's white outside, you smell it. But they give me a headache. Not really cool, actually. It's cool, but it's not cool. It's not cool for my head. Bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. You're going to push the arms out, up and back. Inhale, inhale slowly. It's the first stretch. And then you exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back. You're going to fall right into ragdoll. The ragdoll, the arms are dangling. The head is dangling. There's no tension anywhere. So if you feel tension in the lower back, just release it. And let the body fall where the body falls. You're not controlling it. So you're not pulling yourself down or pushing yourself down. You're just letting the body go where the body goes. Very important mindset here. Just letting go. And you're focused on the breathing. Just like I was mentioning with the black X. So think of the breath as that black X. Your palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're going to arch the back, raise the head, inhale. Inhale as much as you can, but you're inhaling slowly, 100% focus on the breathing. And then exhale, as you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. You're getting all the air out, push all the air out. Then again, arch the back, raise the head, inhale slowly. And then exhale slowly, pull yourself in and down, forehead's going to the knees. And again, arch the back, raise the head, inhale. And then exhale, push all the air out, get all the air out. And we're going to do two more, arch the back, raise the head, inhale. And then exhale all the air out, pull yourself in and down. Get all the air out. The palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. With a low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back. Knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching, head is up. And you're focused on the breathing. Remember, 100% focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. You're feeling opened here. So you're focused on the breathing. So there's no thoughts. A thought may come in, but remember, you're letting go of the thought. You bring your focus back to the breathing. You may think about something else again. You may think about the back leg aching. You're like, man, feeling in my knee. Nope. Adjust and then bring your focus back to the breathing. This is what you're learning in yoga. You're learning to adjust, modify, adapt. It's a mindset. So when you're off the yoga mat, you're doing the same exact thing. You're in a meeting, sitting at a table with a whole bunch of people. You're adapting, you're adjusting, you're watching what you're saying. You're well aware what's going on. All that's learning. All that learning is happening on the yoga mat. So when you're off the yoga mat, you apply that same stuff in that meeting or wherever. Very important. And you're open. So in this pose, you're feeling opened. Opened, opened, open. You're tapping into openness. Same thing happens. So what you're learning is that you are open. Openness, capital O, is just another word for yoga. So when you're off the yoga mat, you're in your job, you're in your office, and you're feeling closed, remember, accept where you are, and then boom, you'll tap into openness. And then you'll be able to think of ways to get out of that situation, or you'll reinterpret the situation and you'll think, man, I'm not any closed in my job. This is awesome. We'll get me some coffee now. And then go to high lunge. With the high lunge, curl the toes under the back, knee goes up. We're not going to stay here long. We just use it as a transition pose. And then downward dog. Same concept. So you're in downward dog, you're pushing into it, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor, no tension in the neck, and you are pushing into this pose. So in this pose, it's a closed pose, but once you accept where you are, you don't judge it, you just accept, boom, you tap into openness. Openness is not dictated by the pose. So although you're closed up, when you accept, you tap into openness. Same concept. You take that mindset off the yoga mat, you apply it in your everyday life. And then wherever you are, whoa, almost slipped. Push a little bit more, but you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle, accept, and just focus 100% on the breathing. And now you're going to slide into the upper dog. You drop down to the knees and the chest. Then you slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. And that's the upward dog. Now you modify this pose how you have to. You may want to go to the small cobra, where you're just on your belly, no pressure on the hands. The hands are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're pulling your chest up off the floor. You're using the back muscles, which are pull muscles. And just feel open, adjust, accept where you are. Don't judge it. Once you're settled, you accept and you focus 100% on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. I'm going to go back to downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really push into it now. Arms are straight, legs straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels are towards the floor. And you're just accepting where you are. You're not judging it. Once you're settled, you accept, and boom, you tap into openness. Again, openness is just another word for yoga. And when I say openness, I think of a capital O openness. And wherever you are, push a little bit more, a little straighter if you can, so arms to go straighter if you can. If not, think, hey, I can't. Then don't. And now you can bring the left foot up between the hands into a low lunge. With the low lunge, remember the top of the foot's to the floor and the back, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally, back is arching, head is up. And again, you're feeling opened. So you don't judge yourself in the pose. Once you're settled, you accept, you focus on the breathing. So if you're down a little bit and you're thinking, man, I'm not doing this great, no, get rid of that. It's judgment. Even if you're in the pose and you're thinking, man, I'm doing this perfectly. That's cool. That's awesome. Really is. But that's not what we're doing. Still judgment. Let go of it. See, the mind is here, body's here. Judgment and those type of barriers prevent the mind and body from becoming one. You got to get rid of those so the mind and body become one. And then that is yoga. Yoga is not the poses. That's not yoga. You go on the internet, you look at a yoga magazine, that's what you think yoga is, but that's not yoga. Yoga is when the mind and body connect. That is yoga. And then you tap into oneness of everything. Once the mind and body connects, you enter into oneness. That is yoga. Or at least that's how we're doing yoga. And you feel opened. Now you're going to curl the toes under the back. Knee goes up. Get the leg as straight as you can. Just a high lunge just for a second or so. It's a transition pose. And then you move into the standing forward bend. Palms to the calves. Elbows into the sides of the legs. And you are pulling yourself in and down in this pose. But you only go into the spot right before you feel like, man, I shouldn't do it anymore. I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot. Settle, accept, and focus on the breathing. I got hair on my socks from my dog. And every time I go in this pose, I can see it. The palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, and then turn palms out, push the air down and out, and then one more sun salutation, and we'll move a little bit faster in this one. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward from the lower back, palms go to the calves, elbows into the side of the legs, pull yourself in and down, focus on the breathing, and you're letting yourself breathe. So remember, when you inhale, the belly swells with air. It pushes you out of the pose slightly. And when you exhale, the belly goes in and you go back into the pose. It's a subtle, subtle movement. You're aware of that movement, but you're not focused on it. You're focusing on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but of the breathing. The left leg is back into a low lunge. You're feeling opened. Think of nothing else but the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. That's that Troxler? I can't even say it. Effect. The X, the black X, is your breathing, and those purple or pink dots disappear. That's what's happening in yoga. You're focusing on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing, and your thoughts disappear. And this all becomes a form of a moving meditation. You tap into awareness, capital A, awareness. That's the yoga spin on it. Capital A, awareness, is just another word for yoga. Capital O, openness, this is another word for yoga. And the word yoga, capital Y, yoga, is just another word for those words. Again, it's not an explanation. The truth and the experience is not in the words. It's not in the meanings. It's in the experience. So high lunge just for a second or so. Then downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really, really push into it now. Then settle and focus on the breathing. And wherever you are, push a little bit more if you feel like you should. If you feel like you shouldn't, then don't. Listen to yourself. Don't listen to me. And then drop down to the knees and the chest, slide up. Going into upward dog, modify it how you have to. Again, you're not listening to me. We're just doing yoga together. I'm just telling you what poses we're doing. Ultimately, you're listening to yourself. Very important. That's what you're learning. Become your own guru. Listen to yourself. So when you're off the yoga mat, you're learning to listen to yourself throughout the day. You're your own guru, your own teacher, your own leader. That's how I teach yoga. And back to downward dog. Pushing into it. It's all about you. Push a little bit more. The left foot is up between the hands into a low lunge. With the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, and the back knees to the floor, hips square, back is arching. And you focus on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. I can't catch my breath. Still under the weather a little bit. Not really. I don't feel bad. Just got a little congestion. Cough. I get a little cough sometimes. It's going away slowly. %, focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else. And curl the toes under the back. Knee goes up. High lunge just for a second or so. Then standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. Let yourself breathe. Focus on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, and then turn the palms out. Push the air down and out, exhale. And you're going to go to mountain pose. Remember, in mountain pose, feet go up, spread the toes, each toe touches the floor one at a time, knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And you're thinking of nothing else but the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. And you can focus on the breathing by watching yourself breathe. You do that by watching the belly. So when you inhale, the belly expands with air. You're aware of that, or you focus on that. I used the wrong word. Not aware, focus on that. And when you exhale, the belly goes in. You focus on that. Remember, you're already breathing automatically. So you're just going to watch yourself breathe. And what will happen, most likely, is that you'll think of something instead of your breathing. And when you realize, hey, I'm thinking about something, it's not about my breathing. Then just let go and just bring your focus back to the breathing. And what will happen, eventually you'll realize you're not your thoughts, but the thing is watching your thoughts. We're just going to stay here a little bit longer. So just watch yourself breathe. Bring the palms together. That's it. So that's number 224 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.